Let me tell you a story. It's November of 2023, I'm 18, and I'm about to get off a bus in New Zealand. I've only been in this new country for 5 days, and I am terrified. I look to my right and see my friend beside me. I can tell he feels the exact same thing that I do. Heart pounding faster and faster, sweat dripping down the side of my head, and I don't know what's waiting for me off of this bus. Before we know it, the bus gets to the stop, and it's time to get off. We hurry off the bus as fast as we can go and walk out into the street. As we're walking down this street, I can't help but feel more nervous and more embarrassed every single step I take, with people looking at us, wondering what we're doing here, wondering how we got here, where we came from, and how on earth we got in this situation. 15 minutes later, my friend and I are in a shop where he's trying to pick out a hoodie to cover himself up. Tries the first one on the rack. Does this one look okay? I think I should go with this one. I reply, it's up to you, man. Whatever. Let's just hurry it up so we can get out of here. Because the longer we wait, the worse it gets. Now the thing was, we weren't trying to get out of there so fast because someone was chasing us and trying to rob us, or the police were after us, but because it looked like we had pissed our pants. The thing about this situation was, me and my friend had just come straight from the beach and we didn't have swim clothes, so naturally we just went swimming in our underwear. And as we were getting out of the water and drying off, we put our shorts on and didn't realize that they were gonna soak through, and it literally looked like we had pissed all over our pants. And he was trying to get back to his house as fast as he could, and I was trying to get back to the hostel where I was staying so I could change and not look like this. And I had a hoodie that I could tie around my waist so it covered it up and didn't make it look so bad, but with my friend, he didn't. And he thought about stopping at a shop and legitimately buying a hoodie for the sole purpose of covering up his shorts so it didn't look like he pissed himself. And eventually he decided not to buy anything from the shop. And as we were walking back, both looking like we had legitimately both pissed our pants, there was a moment where a sudden thought just hit me, why do I care about this so much? Why do I care about what these other people think of me? I know none of them. I'm from Canada, I'm not from New Zealand. Why do I think about what all these people think about me? And it was in that moment where something just clicked in my brain and I just let everything go. I stopped worrying about what they thought of me and simply just walked in peace. And all it took was a simple thought to take those negative emotions away and get over that insecurity of looking like I pissed my pants. Now this entire story revolves around being insecure, and I was insecure for the majority of my life about a lot of different things. When I was going through middle school and the start of high school, I was an extremely small kid. I was about 4'11", 85 pounds soaking wet, and I was extremely insecure about my appearance, about the way I sounded and the way I talked, and even the grades I was getting. I was insecure about a lot of different things. I didn't have a lot of friends, so naturally I felt when I was alone that I was always being judged by other people and that they were always looking at me. And I always had these negative emotions and these negative, anxious thoughts circulating in my mind. Now, naturally, as I went through life and started to get into the gym and started to play more sports and see more results in school, naturally, I built up that confidence and I got over a lot of my insecurities. But there was always one thing that provided me with a foundation that I was never insecure about. That was playing music, and mainly playing drums. I didn't really have anything that I was passionate about at that time in my life, and once I started playing drums and getting into practicing and learning new things, it gave me a very solid foundation in something that gave me that security. When I was playing drums, there was no overthinking, there was no negative, anxious thoughts in my mind. I was simply free to do what I enjoyed doing. Every time I'd go on stage to actually perform, I'd be a little bit nervous, but I'd always look forward to that feeling of excitement when I'd get out there. And even though a lot of my bandmates were really insecure to go on stage and perform, I was never like that. I always wanted to go and just perform and play because I naturally enjoyed doing it. I naturally felt confident in myself when I was playing music. Even though music gave me an outlet to overcome that insecurity and really start to build confidence, there was one thing that once I started to progress on my musical journey that I have always been insecure about to this day, and that's showing people my original music and showing people music I've written. It can feel very nerve-wracking to actually show someone a song you've written or have that level of vulnerability, especially if it's a song that is very personal. And I've always felt this sort of resistance to show people my songs and especially receive criticism about the songs that I've written, because naturally you don't want to hear negative feedback about something that you've created, about something that you've made, and is kind of a window into your personal life. Naturally, the more I've written, the easier it's gotten to show people my originals and be okay with receiving criticism on the songs I've written and being able to detach from those emotions. But initially in the beginning, the thing that scared me most was showing originals to people. I've had the chance to meet a lot of amazing artists and a lot of amazing singers who are very scared to actually perform their originals and won't even show it to another musician. And someone who writes, they just keep it all to themselves. The thing is, you can't let insecurity hold you back if songwriting and music is what you want to pursue. In order to stop being insecure about showing people your originals, or being insecure about singing in public, or whatever it is when it comes to music, there is only one thing you need to do. If you feel insecure about showing people your songs, you need to show people your songs and get that criticism. If you're scared and insecure about singing in public, then you need to go sing in public. If you're insecure about what you look like on stage, you need to take some time and actually go play on stage. You need to get comfortable with those uncomfortable feelings. It's the only way to actually progress down the path that you want to go. In terms of songwriting, you need to show your songs to other people, because most people don't write songs for themselves. They want to share them with other people. So you need to have some level of humility to be able to receive criticism on them, especially from other musicians. And I'm not just saying go release a song that you don't really like and aren't happy with, but be willing to detach from your songs and know that your value doesn't depend on the quality of songs that you write, or if there's something that you're not 100% happy with. It's okay to have someone not like it and have someone have a different opinion about it than you do. Think about it in terms like going to the gym. If you want to build muscle and you want to get stronger, you need to go to the gym and lift weights. Yes, it feels sore while you're doing like a bicep curl or something, and you feel that pain in your muscle. And yes, you're going to be sore the next day or a couple days after, and it's going to hurt. But eventually that pain goes away. Then you go to the gym again, you feel that pain, you feel the burn while you're curling that weight, or you feel like your chest like pumping while you're doing that bench press, and then you're sore the next day again. Then you go back, train again and again, and you keep doing it. And eventually what happens? You start to enjoy going to the gym, and you start to see some progress on your physique. You start to feel like you actually look better, and then you actually enjoy going to the gym. You make some friends who go to the gym as well. Then when you go and train, they're pushing you, you're pushing them, and it's a really amazing experience, and you're making a whole bunch of progress in terms of your physique. You feel better, you sleep better, and you look better as well. But that only came because you were able to get through that initial pain and those initial feelings of discomfort that come with starting in the gym. It's the same thing with songwriting, or it's the same with generally anything in life. You have to be willing to have those uncomfortable feelings and feel what it's like to be uncomfortable. You have to be okay with getting in that uncomfortable stage, because typically the beginning is the hardest part. The most embarrassed you'll ever feel about showing someone a song is probably the first time you show an original song to someone. And naturally, the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's like with recording videos. The first couple videos I ever tried to record, I felt extremely embarrassed. Recording, I felt extremely embarrassed. Talking, and nothing felt like it flowed. And then naturally, the more and more you do it, the easier and easier it gets, and the more your identity starts to change. You'll start to see yourself as someone who, instead of is insecure about their songs, is okay with receiving criticism and actually enjoys the process of writing and hearing other people's perspectives and showing them what they can do differently in their songs, because that's the only way you get better. It's hard to take criticism, and it's hard to show other people your songs, and it's hard to be uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the better you get. And then every single time you feel uncomfortable, or every single piece of advice you get, you're closer to getting where you want to go. You're closer to writing that song that you've always wanted to write, or getting a bunch of listens on Spotify, or wherever you want to take your future in music and songwriting. Every little failure, every little thing that's uncomfortable is a step in the right direction. You need to keep failing forward. Even if the first couple songs you write are absolutely trash, that's okay, because eventually you're going to get better. The first whole album I made is pretty much garbage in terms of what I want to do now, and my style has changed so much, but you have to start somewhere. You have to be willing to get through those first initial stages, or else you're never going to get to where you want to go. I know what it's like to miss out on life and to miss out on a lot of things because of insecurity. This used to be me with social situations. I wouldn't go to a lot of events because I was insecure, or I wouldn't play a certain sport because I felt like I wasn't good at it, or I wouldn't go to a certain jam night or performance because I was insecure of what people would think that, and I didn't know anyone. And the thing is, those moments are never coming back. whatever decision you make, you can't get back. It's done, it's in the past. But if music is what you want to pursue in your future and music is your passion, then don't let insecurity be the thing that holds you back. Oftentimes, we are our own worst critic, and our mind wants to keep us safe, and that's natural. But the only way to get to where we want to go is to be uncomfortable and be willing to show other people our songs, because you're not writing songs just for you. That's at least my guess. It's you want to show them to other people. You want to have success playing live, or you want to like build a following. Whatever it is, you need to be willing to show other people your songs, because think about it like this. Some of your favorite songs, you probably say saved your life, right? You listened to them in an extremely hard time, or a time where you really needed that message. And that song was only written because that artist was okay with being vulnerable. And that song was only written and is so good because that artist has probably written hundreds, if not thousands of songs before that one that got a bunch of listens and is really popular now. If you want that to be you and you want to change someone else's life with your music, then you need to be willing to show your songs to other people and feel uncomfortable to get to where you want to go in the future.